little video here on the B-29 again. Surprisingly, as you guys are aware, and long-time subscribers know, this build started, we did a few videos, and it never really seemed to take off. Dun-dun-dun-ching! Anyway, what surprised me, though, was these videos, I think there's 2, maybe 3 of them, have incredible legs on them. One video's got like 1,500 or 1,700 views, another one's got 2,000. Like, this is a very, very popular aircraft. And I do see comments coming through still, you know, this was probably a year and a half, 2 years ago we started this build. And I'm still getting comments at least, you know, 1 or 2 a week, right? Anyway, one subscriber was looking for information on the cockpit, the flight deck, if you will. Had some troubles with it, so we'll get to that here in a minute. You know, this here's been hanging on my ceiling, and I had to change the aspect ratio of the video, and I had to make a lot of room to push the camera way back into the closet here, just so we could get this bird in frame. We taped the whole thing together so we could hang it up. I mean, this thing is monstrous, and what's scary is I have cobwebs here, like unbelievable this plane, and the cobwebs span from about here down the wingtip, and this plane hangs way over here, and you guys who visit the shop know this, and the Moncton boys who showed up before I got home one day and took everything in my shop and turned it upside down. Anyway, the cobwebs ran from way over here across the lights now. Like, this thing's been parked for now. Iron Man's got cobwebs on. Ah, man. Anyway, I really like this model. I really want to take off with it. I had great ideas. Kind of fizzled out onto it. I kind of had a dream about this one the other night. Kind of got me thinking again. Anyone who's aware of this aircraft know the flight surfaces, the ailerons, the vertical stabilizer, flaps, everything. They were covered in fabric. The rest was done with aluminum, I believe, aircraft aluminum. So these would be a different color. So they got me the idea of, if you guys remember, our base shading or pre-shading on the Sabre. We played with L-clad metallizers, and that worked really, really well. So it kind of got me thinking. And then I got thinking again, is I kind of almost want to cut these out, pose the airplane as in full flaps down, real stabilizer kind of moving as well, just to set it upon itself as being something different. I'd like to show this in the model show someday, but just monstrous, monstrous build, and it kind of lost the interest to me. It kind of, we were building this obviously during the time when we took a hiatus from YouTube and a hiatus from the shop. We shut the door, locked it, and walked away for a good almost year. But anyway, kind of interested again, but I got so many builds on the go, I can't really just dedicate more time to it. But I got to put it away soon, or I'm going to be back to it. But anyway, we're going to get to the question here, was the flight deck. I tried doing this video with the camera on the flight deck itself, but my camera isn't very clear. So guys, we're gonna have the pictures, I think somewhere in this region here, and I'll just talk over and we'll edit it in. As you guys can see from said photos, this flight deck is very, very, very busy. There's a lot of stuff to look at and a lot of work and detailing that can be done. Now, I did this before I kind of really got the hang of dry brushing and stuff, so the detailing could be better. It's good for the time I did it. I did this with a lot of, like, a magnifying glass, reference photos, and a lot of patience and fixing a lot of mistakes here. And it still isn't great, but it's still, I'm impressed with what I was able to do. The map you see on the flight deck was actually printed off of Google and scaled, and then just cleared, and then glued down. It turned out, okay. But what's really sad is this model has a pile of detail in the cockpit, the flight deck, the aftermarket for resin and for photo etch parts is huge. It's really, really deep. And the shame of this is once it's in there, the visibility of this is very limited. A lot of the back of the, if you see where the navigator's table is and the flight engineer, there's only a small little porthole window to see that once it's in the model. So more of, if you're going to do heavy detailing here, it's really for your own purpose. I believe this kit originally was popped with a half of the fuselage was cleared. So you could, or it was made of just clear acetate or something, so you could actually look through half the model and the other side was finished. But anyway, guys that were asking, Yeah, it was difficult. There's a lot of little pieces. Instructions are 2 or 3 steps, which in Revell world is like 2 or 3 pages, 2 pages I think, of putting little bits and pieces together, lefts and rights, decals, this, that, a whole 9 yards. So my suggestion, guys, that we're asking, look really, really hard at your reference photos, compile a lot of reference before you start, dry fit everything, really take the time to see what you got to do. And the funny thing is, guys, the picture that you see right now, that's not even the whole deck. Once you get it half installed into the fuselage, there are pieces that mount to the walls to make side panels, more tables. There's a ladder that goes in. There's a bulkhead. There's a decompression chamber passage. Oh, it's crazy, guys. It's so much work. Hopefully this helped. I you know, it's been a while since I even played with this. I just happened to dig it out, dust it off, and get set up for the video. So I'm kind of going off memory here. Hopefully, guys, we can get back to this. This is kind of my holy grail of all model kits, and now that I have it, I started it. It didn't really pan to be the holy grail I was looking for. But maybe that will be its legacy to me, is that I got it and it took me decades to finish it, and hopefully when it's finished and it sits on a shelf or hangs from a ceiling because it's too big for a shelf, it will be something I'm proud of, and I will call my modeling career a success when this was finished. You know, like I said, it could be a couple weeks, it could be a couple years, it could be a couple decades from now. But hopefully you guys will still be tuned in when we do finish this build. So, alright guys.